Speaker isn't very good.
This speech is so low.
Oh my god.
So Stephanie, Mike is not here alone. There was a time to, so we'll leave for her. And I don't think her is here. Is Mike Schreiner here?
Destroy our healthcare system by privatizing it.
you're with me, I will work across party lines with my friends and the other opposition parties. Effectively ending Newton's law and replacing it with unchecked personal favor handed out by cabinet. If you found that challenge lost, and he was one of the litigants that devised that challenge, and together with democracy law and eco-justice and others, we are challenging that law, and we expect to have it struck down. Under the same party that has spent the past 8 years taking our problems seriously and even making a half-honest or flawed effort to solve it by just taking the most basic advice that we and the other experts do. For example, dealing with the housing shortage and shortage of construction capacity by regionalizing buildings that are actually efficient and existing neighborhoods directly, right? Regionalizing mid-rise and multi-flex homes. I might not be able to do that. We've asked them to do that. We have been asking for the entire footprint government has done that. If they had been taking seriously the problem of emptying schools and transit systems that are having trouble supporting themselves by actually trying to densify low-density neighborhoods and bringing up the density that schools full and buses full. If they were taking seriously the problem that we're increasingly our agriculture industry is composed of tenant farmers now, if they have taken that seriously by hardening and expanding green belt perspectives, if they had taken seriously the problem that we don't have enough construction capacity to even keep up with the need by cracking down on inefficient development that's wasted on advancing the sprawl and remakes of existing homes and construction and rise. And if they've taken seriously, the problem of construction costs and cost of fuel by making heat pumps and low-cost ways to get our universal, that if they had taken seriously the problem, the very real problem of the U.S. threat of economic force and their intention to absorb Canada by actually improving the transparency of our democracy by restricting the restriction of individual capitalism and the consumer himself, if he has been increasing transparency to make sure that we can't have our sovereignty handed away without anyone noticing. Okay? And if they were empowering us all to basically better watchdog against, U.S. conversions into our government, giveaways to the country, then I would be here thanking the government for doing the right thing. The same government, the same party, and the same name, the same cabinet, I would be here saying that. But I am saying that they did in that do that in any other. So, unfortunately, we have a consistent pattern. Rather than treating our problems as problems and making honest efforts to solve them, everything that Carrie recognizes the problem is for this government only a pretext for more power for itself, for taking the power away from the legislature, and for handing out more untaxed favors to its friends and donors. So instead of welcoming the city of Toronto's legalization of bid-ride and multiplex, we have a government that's used it as an opportunity to fearmonger with its wealthy base about regular folks being able to live on their streets in bid-ride and multiplex apartment buildings. They have used the problem of declining populations in suburban neighborhoods and lower population density in smaller households as an excuse to take control of school boards and impose and rather they have taken the shift of agriculture to canning farming as an excuse to first try to dismantle the greenbelt entirely because it's owned by landlords now and it's an opportunity to earn favors with them. Rather than seeing it as a problem that demands a solution, they took it as an opportunity to hand out more favors. And rather than taking the construction crunch as an opportunity, as a problem that requires harder settlement values, they use it just as a rhetorical pretext to dismantle the only tools that we have to promote denser and more efficient housing. For all of this, the epitome of it is that rather than treating all of the problems as problems with individual legislative it's culminating in the essay, the problem is democracy itself. The problem is not that it's not legal to build a 4-story building or a 6-story building on an evening street. The problem is that I don't have absolute control myself in my office over what gets built where. And so, first they try NZOs, then they try through the representatives of the Greenbelt. Now they're consolidating conservation authorities and putting themselves in charge of and the epitome of all that is a universal heat industry for the premier itself, which is Bill 5. And he's not there! Because all of the ordinary tools of organizing all of the legal processes that we could rely on, our ability to appeal to the Ontario Land Tribunal, our ability to use what used to be the ordinary checks and balances are gone. And so what's left is this protest, number one, and Bill 5 is the main event. And I think if we don't succeed in pushing back Bill 5, then we're on a path that's going to be very difficult to remove ourselves from a situation where government has the power to remake every state on an individual basis. Because this person showed up to a protest, they are not going to get permission to do so. And that because this particular company set up and told the line, they're going to get status as a custom proponent. And we want to remember that this custom proponent status is a very limited U.S. company owned by authoritarian government. So all of I hope, and I don't know if I can call it right choice, but remember that, you would say, well, stop, because there's still the opportunity for the senior service to continue back down on the good day. You're trying to push, right? Personal claim just last week. So what I did is for you to pigeonhole at your MPP in your movement and make what they're doing right visible to them by reminding them every day that they're the reason this stuff is happening, that you hold them responsible, and that you are demanding that they stop. It's got to be something that you can see your NPC in the supermarket, you can see them at the school, you can see them in the park, you can see them driving, you flag them down, and you make to me, you say, this is your fault, you need to stop right now. There should be no opportunity to be free of constant complaint and haranguing. There should not be a single quick opportunity for a photo op or a press conference. There is no back down. Reverse Bill 5. If you see them at the swimming pool, you don't like to say but you tell them back down, repeal Bill 5. If they come to a school event, to give a speech on your kid's graduation, you stand up and you say, back down, reverse Bill 5. Anywhere in the province for an entity who refuses put this speaker in his Saturday
We're getting wonderful instructions from all our speakers of what we can do. And as I watch their frustration in Kings Park, watching these sessions is very frustrating to watch too. But I watch them fighting so hard and their exhaustion, and what they need is us. And we're here. We are out here. We're supporting, and we're going to make these things happen. I haven't got Stephanie here yet, but we do have our local councillor, Councillor for Ward 11. We have Diana. Okay, hello everybody. So how many of you love the song Please Hear Like Children? You know
Still can't hear me. Probably holding the microphone right here. At every corner of all the things we do, the stronger hydro, the work we're trying to do for electrification, makes things very difficult at the Ontario Energy Board, and really getting in our way. When it comes to the Conservation Authority, the Toronto Region Conservation Authority is a global success. It is an incredible brand. Yay! This is a hard work. And some of the best experts in the world are conservation and restoration and urban planning, and just destroying that brand. But taking the name of it, there's no possible public benefit in destroying that. Plus, not only have you started with the power of the numbers, and now the TNC is constantly taking place of a provincial oversight board to force them to allow more development where it can go. And then when we talk about housing, oh my goodness. So we're good. We're working so hard to make housing that people want to live in. For blockers for years of having inclusionary zoning. Finally, approved the people plans we can have inclusionary zoning near parks, near subdivisions. And then you direct them festival to take it away. Taking away our youth by all after 20 years. Saves money, saves climate, improves water, makes the places more beautiful. He's taking away our speed cameras so that weeks later, a 50-year-old boy, critically injured, for the sin of walking across the crosswalk in front of a large hospital with a school sign. But there's no speed cameras on everything we're trying to do for the damaging, breaking, Six long passes over and over like definitely. They claim that bikers caused congestion. The court looked at it and said it was absolutely unfounded by any evidence. So this is the problem we have with this one. Yes, talk to your MPs. But you need to talk to your MPs. Toronto has a huge group of MPs, and they need to stand up to the city. They can prevent this airport nonsense. They can do a lot more than I think. But I was in Ottawa last week talking to the federal MPs, and what they said was they're not hearing public anger. And they don't think they need to worry about private voters because they private voters are going to go. They need to hear.
Well, somebody's going to hear from me.
Where are they? Where are they?
It's a parallel. And you know, the little Jack had a turn to my stomach now. And
the first one came in 1996 when the king of dumb ideas, Mike Harris. Thankfully, he wasn't in office much longer, but in 2002, City Council moved to put a bridge at the island airport, which would have led to death in the person on the lake. But David Miller got elected in 2003, and he built the bridge at the island airport. In 2013, Rob Ford called for death. And that's when my group, No Jet TO, was founded from just a group of concerned citizens who wanted to save the waterfront that was soon to be revitalized. This is how long this fight has been going. So we spoke to people from Scarborough to Nimico, all across Toronto, and we built a coalition of people who fought to stand up for our waterfront. Tons of followers, tons of supporters, endorsers, and then in 2015, we won that fight. We built that at the island airport. Gets up out of the blue and calls for jets at the island airport. We're all wondering, what is with the sudden interest of Doug Ford in flying jets at the island airport? We searched the answer. How many times do you think he mentioned the island airport at Bruce Park over 8 years? Take a guess. Zero! Big fat zero. And then last week, we found out Dougie bought a gravy plane. Landed at the island airport and they expanded it for jets. Of course. Then you would have a runway from the island airport to his cottage in Minnesota. How convenient for Dougie. We got really loud and we stopped Doug Ford's gravy plane. And no jets for Billy Bishop. No jets for Billy Bishop. No jets for Councilor Diane Sachs made an important point. We got to push back on Ford on this. We got to push back hard. Oh, one thing I wanted to mention about the history. So this is the third time we fought this at the island airport, and James Jacobs said you have to win a fight 3 times. We're going to be running a game walk next Sunday down at the island airport. You can see the waterfront that's at risk to the deck. So I encourage you all to please come out. 11 a.m. So, Councilor Diane Sachs made an important point. We have to push Doug Ford on this, and we got to embarrass him more about that gravy plane because that is not a winner for Doug Ford. If you see the polls on that one. But you have to talk to your Liberal MPs as well. And what I'm hearing back from some of the Liberal MPs is this is a different time. Maybe it just makes sense. They have that totally backwards. It is a different time, and that's why it makes less sense. Since 2015, we have the Union Pearson Express that gets you to Pearson in 25 minutes. Also, since then, we have a beautiful revitalized waterfront that, I encourage you all to go down to, maybe not on a rainy day, maybe just a sunny day, but we have invested billions in our revitalized waterfront, and it's given us billions more back. That is the crown jewel, Doug Ford, not the island airport. We are going to build tens of thousands of housing units on the East Waterfront, including thousands of affordable homes. We are in the middle of a housing crisis. We need those homes. The jet safety area would make all of those homes not work anymore. Losing tens of thousands of housing units, thousands of affordable housing units, all gone. Yeah, do we want to build 1.5 million homes? Oh, hell yeah. So, and when Doug Ford was questioning about this, he was like, the city of Toronto did this on purpose. They put these houses here on purpose to block the jet. No, Doug Ford, we put our houses there because we're in the middle of a housing crisis. I can't believe it. And now this week, Doug Ford's introduced a new bill, Bill 110 to 36 back, that aims to steal Little Norway Park away from California. The Glover's office discovered that all of Toronto Island is going to be stolen by Judge Ford. Central Island, North Island, everything we love. We have 17 million people who visit our waterfront Toronto Island. All of that, Ford wants to steal from you. What do we say to that? Exactly. He wants to take our land, pave our park, and leave Ontarians in the dark. What do we say to that? So, other issues down there, we got our hands on an environmental assessment of Jets to the Island Airport. It was buried for 9 years, but we got an FOI request in and it just pulled it out of them. And they were buried because they're ashamed. So some of the impacts they said, traffic is going to go up 450% around the island airport. And, they spotted hundreds of thousands of birds by the island airport, including endangered ones. That is a migratory bird runway, and jets suck in birds. And on the water, every time sewage outflows into our water, instead of taking 6 weeks to dissipate, once they hit the runway, it's going to take double the time. So more Brown Lake, Ontario, all the jets. Things we're doing there is going to need jet blast barriers on either side of an expanded runway that expands itself to the central waterfront, expands itself past Ontario Place. It's going to need jet blast barriers because jets shoot out 190km/h winds into the water. Now, if you're a porter on that water, what's it going to do to you? It doesn't fit. It is a disaster. You will be at Hamlet Point, and all you're going to see is a wall. You're not going to see the city of Toronto anymore. Beautiful waterfront. It's just, this is what we always have said. Jets will dominate our waterfront, and everything you know and love and the ways that you like to use the waterfront, because it's a mixed-use waterfront, they are all going to be gone if we allow jets. So what do we say, everyone? No jets! No jets! No jets! No jets! JetsPO.com. And if you see me, I got a bunch of things for all of you.
So we don't know the backstory, and that's amazing that we got that hospital information. So now I have the first step to do this project that I have over on basically we have Andy Master. Yeah, if you like to come up and yeah, that's the plan.
You're doing maybe a little bit of man work. I think the main thing is we really got to get man and on March 30th, Tony is getting exercise excellence and moving mountains. What he said? He said that if the city and province can consolidate their responsibility, there are opportunities to have there. Consolidate responsibility. Come to your event or attend your event, right? But if you do this to go on, you're going to consolidate our whole democracy away. We cannot let this happen. We need to raise hell and get very down on our feet. And it's just very, very, very politically costly for the Liberal Party of Canada. We cannot let this happen. So, definitely get to our side, North's position. Let's not let this happen. This is ugly.
And then see the federal connection that's really astounded me. I have no idea. So we have Stephanie here to raise over and she's going to speak to us. Stephanie Swan, she's our Liberal MPP.
Hi everyone, I'm sorry I'm so late. So honored to be here today to see all of you standing shoulder to shoulder. Especially the real warriors, and that is what we need right now. when you stand like this, when you march like you want to do, government has to listen. So the stronger your voice is, the stronger we are. I am actually part to amplify that voice, and you're here amplifying my message as well, and empowering me to speak to this government. We are so worried about what's happening in this province right now. It is so disturbing. We are exhausted with how this government does nothing but favor its friends and donors. The government first, not the people of Ontario. People are struggling every day to buy groceries, to pay their rent, to have access to new ways. But in the meantime, all of their government friends get access to money. They get access to their donors. Freedom of information is absolutely critical. I said 30 years, over 30 years ago. You know what government is doing, why they're doing it, their motivations, and how they are doing it. And this government is doing nothing but trying to limit the access to information, the information that tells us what they are doing. Freedom of information. Without it, we would not have known about the Greenbelt scandal and the OPP investigation. Freedom of information has known that the skills development fund and how those skills save money is going to friends and donors and citizens. We did not know that freedom of information is over 150 prisoners who live free in this province. That law and order government, and we would not know about the gravy plane, the $30 million check that this government just decided they needed to buy when you can't buy groceries and you can't pay your money. They want to stifle access to information, and this is why I've tabled an opposition day motion that is going to be debated the day we get back in the House on May 4th, and we are pulling that piece of legislation out of the budget bill where it's curiously stashed, so nobody will see it. We're going to debate it and have this government, before all of us, stand up and vote that they do not want us to have freedom of information. Is working. On Thursday, I suffered a really personal blow from the Premier of Infection Control. He personally attacked me, and he attacked my career. You know what? It's not about me. This is about how we're getting to that, how it's working. I can know. So we have to continue this fight, continue to be strong, and know that it is working. We've got to hold that government to account, and what you're doing right now today, is doing all of us work. No matter what your political stripe, no matter where you come from, we will all say enough is enough. Your enthusiasm carries so much. This fuels me every day. I'm proud to represent you. I'm proud to represent Toronto St. Paul. And we're here and we're not stopping.
Yeah, very cute. We counted them up. We have one young person here, JJ. I sent JJ a script so that we could go around, and we do our lunch, we could go around and just name all of the things, all of the word things. We came up with 25 word things. So you will hear JJ calling those out, and then you can respond with an appropriate. That's a nice one.
Oh, yeah.
So have someone from the Ontario Health Players, would like to tell us about their protest? representing education. But we've had quite a long chat here, one of there's tons to say about education, and particularly special education, and Mr. Commander's insensitive attitude towards our students, and lack of perspective about what schools need. So we could go on and on. If you think you want to have one, well, we'll just listen to Michelle from Ontario Hospital.
All across the province. It's fantastic. And but we have a basis to build on. I just want to say one thing. Repeat after me. Thursday, May 28th. In Toronto. At 12 noon. Union Station. I will be there. To protest forward. With people from across the province. Thursday, May 28th, 12 noon, Union Station. Please be there. We are organizing a rally by the Ontario Health Coalition, supported by major unions, supported by people from across the province. Trains and buses are coming in from across the province on a weekday at 12 noon. We're going to march from Union Station to Queen's Park. I hope you can join us.
He's joined a group called Fairboat Canada. The essential changes to our voting system.
Hello everyone, my name is John. You can hear from my mother, my amazing mom, Molly. I'm going to keep this short. I think we have a lot of supporters in this crowd already. I'm hearing a lot of call out to first past the post. For those who don't know, this is the voting system that we currently use that honestly most of the world has moved beyond at this point.
Broken.
Fair Vote Canada is an organization devoted to bringing about proportional representation. We've gone far too long without asking ourselves how it can be that 43% of the vote can land out forward with a 64% majority in 2025. How can we vote for are being diminished or disappearing while this overwhelming power is coming from the hands of people who are not supported by most of the people in this province. So I just want to say to you all, we're about to start marching. I appreciate you all for being here.
So we are going to march, and the last time that we marched, we had a faithful frog. We're calling it FSIPPA, the information, building north, the class, thank you, Freedom of Information and Protection of Privacy Act. Thank you, Chris. So we're calling it Whip-Up Frog. And Whip-Up Frog is going to lead us and march which goes eastward and southward down to Queen's Park proper. And we will launch around the perimeter of Queen's Park and back to Wellesley around one more time and leave at the tip of Queen's Park for our final words. I want to thank all of the speakers who came, and I have a couple more people who would like to speak, but I don't know if people are experiencing the news or would they like to talk to a couple more speakers. Okay, I think we're going to move. The official end of the protest is 2 p.m. So maybe we'll have a couple of speakers down when we're at the end of Queen's Park. So thank you again very much for coming. 97 was what they just passed in the information. Also note that the CO their petition as well. So there was a teacher who wanted to speak, and also there were a couple of individuals wanting to do a personal speaking, and I did say that we would give time for people who would like to say a few words. So if you wanted to come up, maybe you had something you wanted to say. JJ, I think our numbers have expanded, which is great. Our next protest for fighting forward is May the 30th. Now I've been told already that there is an event scheduled from 2 to 4, and that if we had a protest it would have to be before 2 o'clock. So it might be the same time as today. So May 30th, probably 11:30 to 1:30, something like that. Okay? Hi, I'm JJ. I'm a climate activist. I'm very white right now. Ignore that. I'm standing out in the rain with all of you today because our planet is under siege and Doug Ford is one of the culprits. Because our politicians are passing bills which designate their projects exempt from environmental regulations and provincial law. Because Canada is being affected by the climate crisis at twice the global rate. Yet Ontario is repealing the Endangered Species Act and building data centers cooled with our drinking water. Doug Ford, how dare you do this to your own people? I'm here today because I'm scared. I'm scared for our world. I'm scared for my future. I'm scared of what will happen as the climate crisis worsens. I'm scared of how many Canadians will die of exposure this summer. Of how many Canadians will die in the next wildfire season. We as a government that is protecting its citizens to a negligent degree. I know it's easy to lose hope in the face of corruption, but we're here today, and that counts for something. We're still able to fight back. For future to further the financial interests of men like Doug Ford.
So anyways, I'm here to, I'm Native, I'm First Nation, right? Everything that these guys do. Well, first of all, let me open up with, no one is illegal on stolen land! You're all welcome here! Why I'm here today, why you see me with the flag, I'm presently looking for graves on the land. You've heard of Bill 5, Bill C5. Nobody has really done anything about it yet. I am looking for my ancestors. The reservations, residential schools, 60 Scoop and all other happenings. Missing murdered Native women, missing murdered Native men. Foster homes, group homes, training schools, jails, prisons. Indian pain is big business. You're going to need lawyers, you're going to need judges, you're going to need doctors and lawyers. We're just a business to them. Doug Ford and the government of Canada has made First Nations run the gauntlet. When I say the gauntlet, I'm talking about reservations, removing us off the land so that you can do economic genocide. Don't create cultural genocide. Physical genocide. Biological genocide. Remove First Nations off the land so that they could have access to the resources. We have been put to sleep by doing all these different actions on our people. But for you, they also put you to sleep. We should have confronted this problem a long, long, long time ago. Whose building is that? It's our building. Again, I say thank you for letting me speak. Now, I do not only speak for myself, I speak for you, and I speak for First Nations who cannot be here today. No one is illegal on stolen land. Big rich.
I am a secondary teacher with the TDSB. I'm here because I've had enough. My students have had enough. And a lot of them can't be here today because of the hardships that this government has personally inflicted on them. Special education in the last budget, which has been controlled by this building, by the way, once they put in the new minister in control of TDSB and control of other boards, has stripped special education. They've stripped positions for teachers and for education staff, and our public education system is crumbling. For my students who can't be here today, who have been fighting with the government for space and programs, who have been fighting with the government for funding to go to post-secondary, OSAP loans have been cut. Dreams have been crushed. And for those who are battling homelessness because of the abject ignorance that this government has for homeless people and for the housing crisis. For all of them and for me, thank you all for making the trip out today. And I'm a nurse. As you all are very aware, Doug Ford and his cabinet have been gutting public health care. I have seen people at the lowest points of their lives dying alone in hallways waiting for adequate health care. I've witnessed people with tubes down their throats, tubes everywhere, when they didn't need it because they were waiting. When people are unhoused and have nothing, where do they end up? Dying on the street or dying in the hallway? These people, they're our neighbors, our friends, our relatives, our partners, our lovers. These people deserve better, and we as nurses deserve better. Been trying to cap our wages. He's been gutting public health care and funneling it to private institutions that are owned by his friends. How corrupt is this government that he is willing to funnel money away from you guys to his friends? Illness does not discriminate. Everyone here will be in a hospital at one point or another in their lives. And do we want to die in a hallway being neglected? No! I want to care for all of you at an adequate level. And if we are not staffed properly, if we're not paid properly, you guys are going to be alone, and I don't want that. So please, in the next election, please think, who has your interests at heart? Who wants you to receive adequate health care? Who doesn't want you to die in a hallway? Nurses. Everyone. Doug Ford doesn't give a fuck about your health. Thank you. I'm shaking because I didn't plan this.
your teachers, your midwives. I want to talk about this wage capping, and what happened with the Ontario teachers was that we had to fight against Doug Ford because he interfered with our ability to negotiate with our employer. So we took him to court, and the teachers won. So they got. Now what he did with the midwives was even worse. They had a human rights case. The judge said, yes, this is actually a travesty that you are being paid so little compared to, there weren't medical doctors, but they certainly work for their money and they're highly trained experts. So they did get it granted to them that they would have a wage increase. But the judge left it up to Doug Ford to decide how much it would be. Guess what he did? He took it back to court and tried to reverse it. Then the judge said, no, we're not reversing that. And in fact, now I'm going to give an amount since you won't. So she did. I don't know a lot about what happened with the nurses, but I think that it's very similar. He is interfering. And the thing is, we have a male nurse, I presume. Then we have these professions are dominated by women. Yeah. Look at the school boards. It's all women in there. Very few men. And some women who have gotten extra degrees and struggled their way up to managing. And they're losing their jobs now. 600 people fired from Toronto District School Board or laid off. These are women who have bachelor degrees, master's degrees, teaching certificates. They've worked their butts off. Often single parents who are also caring for elderly parents of their own. And now the losses are tallying up under these supervisors. Where were they? Where have they been when we were building ourselves up by ourselves? They didn't support us. Some of these supervisors are charging HST on top of their $350,000 salary per annum. They are charging GST using their private companies to charge the boards more. Disgusting practices, and then teachers lose their jobs. So I'm just really disappointed in Doug Ford calling out Stephanie at her job, a woman who worked in the trenches of journalism and what was not easy for her in her days, calling her out. Doug Ford is an insult to every professional woman who has worked for her. Why is it that a person's starting salary as a police officer, after maybe doing 1 year of training or coming right out of high school, they start getting paid $60,000 a year? That is, beginning teachers make much less than that, and they are trained 4, 5, 6 years. Then, so with the police, well, that's a whole nother story, but there's so many stories. The other women who are working so hard and being paid peanuts are our PSWs. Oh my gosh, these people, they work. I mean, there are men doing these jobs. I'm not saying there are no men, but it's predominantly women working away with our elderly people. They are the kindest people ever. They are certainly not doing it for the money. They are doing it for the love of our elders. And then you have the ECEs. It is so depressing to hear the state of their wages. And even though we have our cheap daycare now, which Doug Ford delayed by about a year, even though we have that, it's hard for them to even find ECE workers, and the burnout is greatly significant. And of course it is, because you can't even live on those wages. Yeah, our most
Livable wages.
livable wages for ECE. Livable wages for ECE. Absolutely.
Shouldn't have to pay to be alive.
Exactly. And on top of it, I mentioned the police before, the lack of training, but also these ECEs have also got to have their certificates. That's like a 3-year program, I believe. And they're getting paid, maybe $20 an hour, under $20 an hour. Shame on them. So Ford is definitely an enemy to women. He has done nothing to address any of these issues. And lastly, on the point of women, Kristen Wong-Tam was the person who showed that the study on intimate partner violence was full of AI-generated sources. This government is so disrespectful to women and their plight. And I think we have all seen where this leads to when you are turning your back on the women by what is happening in the U.S. and around the world. So those are my words on women's issues to do with Doug Ford and the Conservative Party.
But about what Andrew said about healthcare, I wanted to share the perspective of a patient. I have what's likely what's happening is I have a condition where my ribs are compressing the intercostal nerves in my back. I am in constant pain, and I need an MRI to diagnose it. They told me it would take 12 to 18 months to get an MRI. To get it moved up, I passed out in the subway station, nearly cracked my fucking head open. I shouldn't have had to go through that. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Aliki. I did not plan to speak here today. This is just off the cuff. I am a mother and a caregiver, and I am so sick of this government. What I do want to say is there is something that we can do. There is something called electoral reform. Democratic electoral reform. Please go to fairvote.ca and see what you can do to get this undemocratic, horrible system we have called first past the post, which is fundamentally undemocratic when people can have of any party, this is not a partisan thing, okay? Any party can take the majority, 100%, with 43% of the vote. Okay, that's not fair. Let's change this. We can do this. We talk to our MPs. We talk to our MPPs. We make this change. We can do this. Okay, I'm here. Fight for the people you love. Fight for them. Thank you.
How many men are out there? Let me hear you. You guys, I don't know where I would be right now if I didn't have the women in my life. I want us all to fight for the women in our lives. This government doesn't give a shit about their safety. They don't give a fuck about any of us. It is up to us to protect all of our loved ones. As a nurse, my God, how many mentors have I had? How many people have helped me to get to where I am have been women? Very strong, amazing women. I want us all to stand together. We are all the working class, and Doug Ford only cares for the Epstein class. Free the working class, free women, free Palestine.
Time in the last year that I've spoken about touched education, specifically touched the special needs education. This is a speech that I
gave last week in a press conference at Queen's Park. And then I watched the question period happening, and both Paul Calandra and Doug Ford were asked to speak to me and other special needs parents, and they declined. Here's what I said. My name is Jessica, and my daughter is a student at Beverly School, a congregate school within the TDSB for children with special needs. My daughter Ruby is 10 years old. She is smart, funny, and brings joy to everyone she meets. She is also medically complex with global development delays. Ruby is nonverbal, non-mobile, and uses a wheelchair. She has extremely limited fine motor skills, requires full assistance with toileting, and is G-tube fed. Her primary diagnosis is a rare genetic condition that causes epilepsy. When Ruby faces life-threatening seizures, I consult experts in pediatric neurology, not the hospital's HR department. In the same way, the proposal to create a CEO position to oversee education in Ontario without requiring a background in education undermines the very foundation of our system. It reduces children to the line items on our financial ledger. Education is not about profit, it is about lifting every child to their full potential. Absolute audacity of the Minister of Education, Paul Calandra, a man with no background in education, to propose a supervisory model with no educational expertise at the helm signals a system that will put profit over potential. This affects every child, not just mine, but the student who excels in math and science, the child who finds their voice through music and art, and the ones who gain confidence through sports. I am an expert in what special education for complex children like mine requires. It means small class sizes, it means dedicated, appropriate support tailored to each child's needs. It means ensuring equity, dignity, and quality of life. And it means never leaving a child unengaged or unattended where their safety is at risk. There are not fewer children who need access to the kind of high-quality education provided at Beverly School. Yet when cuts are made and children become pawns in a cost-cutting agenda, these are the students that lose first. This Conservative government, in its attempt to restructure Ontario's education system, is disregarding expertise at every level. The thousands of teachers who tell us what they need to succeed, the educational assistants and support staff who say they cannot safely manage growing demands, and the trustees who understand the unique needs of their communities, and the parents, like me, who are the voice for our kids when incompetent leadership jeopardizes their right to an equitable and inclusive education. Our children deserve better. Thank you.
I am a secondary school student, or post-secondary, sorry. So I am obviously wearing the wristwear, but that's not actually what I'm here to talk about today. I wanted to talk about my mother. My mother is a very special woman to me. I love her very much. And she used to be a PSW, but she had to stop. And she's wanted to go back for so long, but she's unable to. And you may think it's because of all of the budget cuts, but it's not actually. She doesn't care about the money. She couldn't care less. She would do it for free if she could. But she can't go back because my brother is 15 years old and he has very complex issues. He has, sorry. He has a lot of issues, a lot of behavioral issues, and we have staff that come into our home and they're supposed to be there to help her so that she can go out and do what she needs to do, live her life, but they aren't able to because there's been so many budget cuts. Every single day she's worried that she's going to get that call that she can't have the staff there anymore. She can't have support for him. And
she's constantly worried about that. So she can't go get a job because one day the staff might get removed and she'll have to come home and she'll have to work with him again with no support at all. On top of that, he's in school. He's currently in grade 9, you know, he's doing pretty well, but in that school, he also has staff who are there to support, but he only has, they only have a certain level of support, and they've constantly been facing cuts. They can't afford to support him in the ways that he needs. They can't afford to give my mother that respite that she needs either. And it's, sorry.
They have the money.
They have the money.
Where's the fucking money, Dad?
To cap it all off, fuck Doug Ford!
Coming out. We're not done yet, of course, but look at this. Take a second and look around you. Look at all these people here. Send this government a very clear message. Hands off of our systems, hands off our education, hands off our airport, hands off our city. For people that want to speak, I'm going to pass this.
Fuck boy!
Good idea.
Make sure you get out and vote.
Okay, everyone. So first time doing this, I hope you can hear me. Everyone has their cell phone? Grab your cell phone. This is Doug Ford's cell phone number. 647. Grab your phone. 647-612-3673. 647-612-3673. Look around you. There's beautiful signs with amazing messages. Take a photo of one of the signs. Ford doesn't return your calls. Ford is not for honesty. Take a photo of the signs. Message Doug Ford right now. He needs to know that we are here. Send him a text message right now. Fuck Ford. Send him a message. Let him feel that we're here. Send him a message now.
Repeat the number, please. Repeat the number. 647-612.
All right, we have another speaker.
Number right there.
367.
Edward.
73.
You're like shivering this thing.
Can everybody hear me okay? Yeah! My name is Edward. I am a current student of Durham College. I came all the way here from Oshawa. I have things to say about what Ford is doing to education, my friends in school, and the people who are going to be going to post-secondary in the future. I don't know if you've heard about the OSAP cuts. How many students are also here today? Post-secondary students, high school students. I didn't even think I was going to be able to go to college a couple years ago. Before I heard about the OSAP cuts that are going on now, OSAP grants for disabled students was the only way I could even go to school. It gave me hope. OSAP is not just a handout, it's a lifeline for people like me, for disabled students, for poor students, and any other student who needs it. That's why OSAP is there. I don't know if you've seen the last student movement that happened here. The CFS Ontario and a couple other affiliate organizations were just here marching not too long ago. We were talking about the things that we need to do to really get this student movement going. And I'm wondering how many of you out there have had enough of what Ford has done to our education? How many of you have had enough of the How many of you have had enough of Bill 33? And what should we do about it? How many of you do you think are ready for a student strike? Strike! If we don't reverse these OSAP cuts, students are not going to be able to go to college. People are going to have to completely give up all of their chances at a future, at an education, at good livable wages. We will not be seeing lawyers. We will not be seeing doctors. We will not be seeing our infrastructure, our jobs that are necessary to this province to keep us running, to keep you alive, to represent you in court. On board! So, to all you students out there, I want to see you keep fighting against this. If these protests don't work, I want to see you out voting. I want to see you do action on your campuses. I want to see walkouts. I want to see you contacting your student unions and getting together with your fellow students, seeing what you can do about this. And if that doesn't work, I want to see a province-wide student strike until we get what we deserve. Now comes to OSAP. Hands off our education. Thank you.
Mom, and I went back to school with my OSAP grant. But I just want to say, thank you so much to Edward and all the students who are here. We support you. We are with you in this fight. We see you out there on the lawns of Queen's Park. It was so impressive. I was like, my heart was beating so fast watching all the students. And with Chris Glover, I forget whatever the politician was there. But we are wrapping up, but I just want to say that, when democracy is under attack, what do? Right. When democracy is under attack, we'll be back here May the 30th. And thank you so much for coming, everyone. Thank you, JJ, and my son, John.